Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
Glad to have you. Today we're going to be diving into I don't know what to call it. It's like philosophy,
Mhm.
spirituality, kind of both.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. It's from this fascinating writer who calls himself an eclectic scout.
Oh, right, the eclectic scout.
Yeah. And they've got some really unique ideas about individuals being like vessels for a divine
Ooh,
experience.
that's a big one.
Right. And we thought, okay, let's deep dive into this, see what it's all about.
So when we say vessel, right, like what are we even talking about here?
Well, I think the idea is that we're each kind of like a container,
A container for what?
for something bigger than ourselves, this like divine force or energy or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so we're holding on to a piece of something much, much bigger.
Exactly. And it's almost like, we're entrusted with this precious thing, we're responsible for it.
So it's not just about like passively receiving this divine experience.
No, it's much more active than that. It's about like protecting it, nurturing it, and letting it shine through us.
Letting it shine through us.
Yeah, like we're supposed to express it in the world through our actions and choices.
I like that. It's almost like we have a responsibility then.
Exactly. A responsibility to represent this divine force in our own unique way.
Makes you think about purpose in a whole new light, doesn't it?
It does. And speaking of light, the Source uses this really interesting metaphor.
Oh, yeah. Lay it on me.
They talk about life being like a divine adventure. What do you think about that?
I kind of love it, honestly.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off, doesn't it? It's not about being perfect. It's about embracing the journey wherever it takes you.
I love that. And that sense of adventure, I think, is really key to understanding this whole vessel idea.
Okay, I'm following you. But
Okay.
there's another piece to this whole thing, right? This idea of oneness.
Right. The Source keeps coming back to this concept of one God, one universe, one earth, one people. Like we're all connected fundamentally.
So how does that fit into being vessels and having this divine adventure?
Well, if we're all connected, if we're all part of this one big thing, then our individual adventures aren't so individual after all, are they?
I see what you're saying. It's like we're all on this grand adventure together, just experiencing it from different perspectives.
Exactly. And that brings us to another idea the Source mentions many different eyes.
Many different eyes. I like that.
Mhm.
So we're all looking at the same world, but through our own unique lenses.
Yes. And each perspective adds something valuable to the overall picture. It's like a giant mosaic.
Yeah.
Each piece is different, but together they create something beautiful and complete.
And to really appreciate that beauty, to understand the whole picture, we need to be open to those different perspectives, right?
Exactly. It's about embracing diversity,
Mhm.
valuing each other's experiences, even if they're different from our own.
Sounds like empathy plays a big role here.
Absolutely. The Source really emphasizes the importance of connection, of understanding, of realizing that we're all in this together.
Which makes me wonder, if we really are all connected, like the source suggests, how does that change how we interact with each other, how we treat each other, how we treat the world around us?
That's a great question to leave our listeners with. It's something to really ponder. What kind of world do we want to create together? What kind of divine experience do we want to share?
Heavy stuff,
Right.
but definitely worth thinking about.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's another deep dive in the books. Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.
Please click like and then subscribe. Also share this video with your friends. Thank you.